With that metaphor, I think that it can be easy to think that we're like applying this practice to something as like almost like a piece of gauze to a wound, or we're like applying medicine to a disease, or yeah, like for me it's helpful to think of it in terms of opening space for the flames to be expressed. So instead of like applying water, it's more like offering space. Um, you know, compassion, for there to be compassion, there's the initial requisite that there's suffering. Otherwise, it would just be love, or like care. But because there's suffering, that means that that care is compassion. And so, sometimes people will think of it in terms of like, oh, I'm applying love to my pain. Because they're afraid of actually opening to the suffering. I'm going to fill my body with love, partly so that I don't have to feel the suffering. And that's really dangerous. And I'm not saying that that's what you're doing or anything like that, but I'm just kind of talking about these principles of um, backlash and how we can open to suffering with space, tenderness, care. Um, instead of sending like 5 fire trucks to the scene and like battling through it quickly, it's like, okay, how can we tend to this fire with a little bit more care? Um, and sometimes it means um, allowing the suffering to get bigger, actually opening to the full or extent of the suffering without suppressing it to one room, or to sense into it from different angles around the body, um, sensing into the thoughts related to the suffering, giving voice to it with expression, healthy expression. And sometimes that expression can be um, I don't know, the space that the fire needs. But with suffering, can we open to it? I mean, that's a part of compassion. That's a part of self-compassion, is listening, noticing, empathizing with ourselves. Not trying to fix it like reactively, but rather feeling it, being with it. This is a part of my experience. It's not all of who I am, but it's okay to feel what I feel. It's important to feel what I feel. And reactions come up. Resistance comes up for a lot of the reasons I shared earlier. And I think a lot of those ingredients I shared earlier are part of the reasons why our suffering was there in the first place. And so, can we be with that reaction? What is this like? And bring this tender care to that too. Staying with this experience, even if it gets really sweaty in here. Being with it, breathing with it, sensing it with this caring curiosity. Giving it a little bit of space. Not applying anything too heavily. I think this is where curiosity plays a huge role, because sometimes we'll think we know the extent of the suffering or the pain, or we'll sort of we'll decide, okay, I'll open to this bite-sized piece and maybe hope that that's all there is, or I'll just do this for 5 minutes. But with, this curiosity, then really helps us to open to maybe a more fuller extent of what's here. That's longing for attention. And so it can be helpful to open to the possibility of a backdraft or a reaction, newness of experience. Sometimes joy is on the other side. We don't know.